Hey YouTubers, my name's Matt, this is the Real MD channel, and today what we're going to be doing is a product review and a test. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a rod and reel that I recently purchased on Amazon. Honestly, all I've done is taken it out of the Amazon box. I'm so excited to open it up and put it together and get it rigged up to catch some fish. But on this channel, what you're going to find is that I'm going to have a lot of new products, a lot of old products, and showing you guys a lot of different ways you can catch fish. Multiple species, multiple types of fish, saltwater, freshwater. I plan on making this very educational as well as fairly entertaining. I'm very new to this. I'm probably gonna mess up a lot. I hope you guys enjoy because I'm not really gonna edit much. So here we go, let's get right into it with this product review. Said guys, Amazon just dropped these off. I just opened up the boxes. I'm super excited to open these up and share it with you guys. First thing I noticed is it's got a neat little carrying case it came with. Only problem is it's not big enough to put back in there with a reel attached, and I don't really see myself taking the reel off once it goes back up, once it goes on there. But here we go. So that's the brand. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. Don't even know how to say that. Anyway, take it out of the carrying case, let's get right into it. First away, I'm kind of digging the carbon fiber here. I like the color, the aluminum. It's very lightweight. I like that a lot. Something you could throw in a backpack even. Let's see. It's got this cool little cover here that protects the eyelets, or at least one or two of them, at least the tip. And everybody knows the tip's the most important part. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get it extended and see how she feels. So it just pulls right out. It's held together by friction, so you just pull it right on out and it sticks. I'm guessing it goes without saying it's pretty important to keep these eyelets really straight. You don't want them off center. You want the line to be able to cast and then reel back in through them very smoothly and fluidly. I've already messed up. See, look at that. I guess right away I would say one thing I would do differently if I was to make one of these rods, which I don't possess the knowledge to do, is have some kind of a notch system where you extend them and they only go out straight. So whatever brand you are, take that. Maybe you can use that. Constructive criticism. Honestly, this is kind of freaking me out. I thought it was going to be very flimsy. Don't know why I assumed it was going to be flimsy, but it's got a nice medium to fast action on it. It's got a little backbone. I like it. So you can see here, if I can turn it around, that right there is the specifications. Well, there they are. I'm getting new to the whole being a camera guy thing. Let's see. Now it says line 8 to 15 pounds. I'm gonna put some 6-pound test on it because I found some of the clearance rack at Walmart for $1.99 for a couple hundred yards, a 6-pound test. So I fish a lot of small water anyway, and I like light tackle. So that's what I'm gonna be using. But that's the rod. And now let's get into the reel. Let's just lay this down right here. It's not going anywhere. Let's open this box up and see what she's got in her. Let's see. Okay. Some plastic bags, something else to pollute the ocean with. Sorry, California. Here we go. Oh, it came with an extra spool. I didn't realize it came with an extra spool. Let's go ahead and get that out of here. That'll be useful to spool up in case I hook into something bigger than I expected and they take all my line off. I won't have to go and re-spool my reel. So it comes loose. Let's go ahead and tighten this bad boy up. Let's see. Oh, still not tight enough. See, we're learning together. Right away, I like it. It's also very lightweight. I think it looks pretty cool too. And we all know that things that look cool obviously work better than things that don't look cool. That's just part of the world and how it works. I like the reel. It's very smooth. I like the nice big handle on it. I've got giant hands, so having a nice big handle helps. But without wasting any more time, let's stick it on here and see how the balance feels after it's attached. There we go. Oop, wrong way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. We all know that, right? Let's lock it into place there so it doesn't slide out of the way. I actually really like that feature that it locks into place because a lot of rod and reels, or a lot of rods, is what I meant to say, a lot of rods have just one single piece that screws up there, and as you're catching fish, and as you're casting and changing lures back and forth and whatnot, they can get really loose and you'll kind of forget. And I've seen guys, no lie, in the last month be fishing and the reel will just fall off because they don't check how tight that is. So be mindful of that when you're fishing. It's really important. imagine just having an 8-pound bass on the other end of the line and your reel falls off your rod. That would be a nightmare scenario for me. Right away though, the balance feels good. Really liking this. It feels great. It feels absolutely great. It's still very lightweight. The backbone of that rod, I can't stop thinking about it. It's way stronger than I thought it was gonna be. I just hope it can hold up. We'll find that out later. So anyway, let's go ahead and I'm gonna take a break and put some line on here, and I'm gonna just put it on there and then have it ready. But you know what? I wanna make this educational. So let's go ahead and put some line on this spool. I just know there's a lot of people out there, like some buddies of mine who are just recently getting into fishing as adults. And to be honest, fishermen like me who have been fishing since they were kids take for granted what we know. So I generally do it like this. Now they have holders and devices that you can put a reel into and spool it up very quickly and efficiently, but I just run the line right through the eyelets all the way to the reel and spool it as it is. So here we go. We're just gonna do this right here. Like I said, I got giant hands, so it's like threading the needle no matter how big the hole is. Oh, there's the chandelier. I better not tear that up. My girlfriend would absolutely murder me. Here we go. And to the reel. So when I'm putting line on a reel, I'm sure everybody's got right or wrong methods or whatever. I don't really care. What works for me and it's never failed is I just tie a little slip knot. So I just cross the line over itself like that, and then run back through with a loop. I'll probably mess it up. Nope, got it right. So there's a little slip knot. And so I started off like that, but I'll leave the tag end fairly long so I can tie a little square knot or a gritty knot, whatever you want to call it, just to cinch it up. So I go right on the reel like that, get it nice and firm. And then I'll use that tag end to just tie a couple little over-unders here and hold it fast while it sits. That way, when we start reeling, it's not slipping and we can put some line on the reel. There. Now, of course, you want to cut your tag end off, and I'll pull out my trusty fishing pliers. I highly recommend these also. I am not sponsored by Amazon, but I buy everything on Amazon because they're cheaper and it's at my house in 2 days, and it's just the best thing ever. So I'm just going to trim this off. It doesn't have to be an exact science because the majority of the time, most of this line is going to be covered up with the rest of the line. I mean, your knot's covered up with the line, is what I'm trying to say. See, told you guys I wasn't perfect. There we go. So flip it over, and I generally just hold it with my hand to create some tension, like this, as I'm spooling it up, and you'll see the spool's laying over there. Ooh, drag is set really low. By the way, guys, this is the drag right here, and what drag is if a fish is on the other end of the line, which is the end game, really, and it's pulling, it puts some resistance on that fish to save your line and your rod. If your drag is set too high, your line or your rod could snap with the fight of the fish, or if you get hung up, or if it's set too low, like this, any tiny fish could just take off running and take all your line off. So I always check it, and depending on what kind of line I'm using, now this is a 6-pound test, so I don't want it too tight because I want the fish to be able to get worn out before my line breaks. But like I said, I just put a little tension on the line and just spool it up. Now, like I said, you don't have to have the most expensive gear. This entire rod and reel ran me about, let's just call it 50 bucks shipped to the house, which isn't too bad in my opinion because a lot of combos are 50 bucks. There's some really good rod and reel combos at, Academy, Dick's, Walmart, all these places, and they're all about the same price. But I've never seen any telescopic rods there. So that's why I have this. And look, I'm getting my line tangled up on all my girlfriend's beautiful decorations here. Oh Lord, I've caught me an interior decorator before I caught a bass. Here we go, so let's just reel it up. I know this seems super simple and super mundane to some, but to some people just learning how to set up their rod and reel, honestly, just take note and learn. It's this easy. Doesn't have to be complicated. Everybody else you're seeing on the internet that thinks they're pros, they're really just basic fishermen like me who have more money than they have sense. That's just my opinion. So let's see. And if you don't have big fat calloused hands like this, you can use a little rag or put on a glove, or even have somebody hold the spool with like a pencil in the middle and put some tension on it. But I don't mind this right here because I'm not spooling up a bait caster. I'm just spooling up a little spinning reel. It doesn't have to be super tight on there. There we go. I'm just gonna fill the spool up. I'm not sure how much is on that. I just saw it was $1.99 and I was like, I'm just gonna buy it. And then I've had it for probably 2 months, never put it on any rod or reel. But then I got this, so I'm like, why not? Here we go. This is the boring part about fishing nobody ever talks about, all the prep work. But it's so important to know your gear. If you don't know your gear, then it's kind of hard when you're out there on the pond or the lake or the stream or on the beach, wherever you're fishing at. If you don't have an intimate knowledge of your gear, it's kind of hard to take control over situations that might come up, like your gear malfunctions or gets dirty or something like that. So I highly recommend everybody get to know what they're using. I might have just overspooled this, but you know what, whatever. I get hung up a lot, I lose a lot of lures. So we'll just call it right there. Oh, look at that. There we go. Not sure what happened there. Oh, there we go. Oh, fresh line, can you tell? See, no blooper reel. I am not editing. So there we go. Now we have some line. And if I could stop trying to tear up this beautiful chandelier, I'm sure my girlfriend would appreciate it. So we're just gonna cut this off. There I go, hitting the lights again. I'm a bull in a china shop. There we go. Just trim that off. And honestly, that's all you need. Your rod, reel, and your fishing line. Now this is just some Stren 6-pound monofilament. I actually prefer fluorocarbon because the fish have a harder time seeing it in most colors of waters. But you know, when it's cheap and it works, just get it, put it on your rod and reel and go try it out. Chances are you'll probably end up losing a lot of line anyway, and you know, you put what you want on there next time. But for this case, I think this 6-pound monofilament is gonna be just fine. Now, the first lure I'm gonna put on there as a part of my Amazon order also was I got a great deal on a bunch of little inline spinners. Now, I do a lot of trout fishing, bass fishing, panfish, honestly, multi-species. And I love lures that can catch just about anything. And these are the most bang for your buck, in my opinion, if you don't feel like going and buying bait and using corks and worms and all kinds of other stuff. These little inline spinners are great. You can change them on and off fairly quickly, and anything will hit them. If you go past a bass with one of these, he's gonna hit it. Brim will hit it, crappie will hit it, and it's just a lot of fun. And they're cheap. I mean, I got 30 of them for 12 bucks. Now, a lot of them in the store, you're gonna find ones like this for $2, $3, $4, which I think is pretty ridiculous because there's people making these in their home just like they make earrings. I mean, it's just, honestly, you can find some on Etsy. It's ridiculous how cheap these are. So go on Amazon, buy a big lot of them. Chances are lures like this, you're gonna lose them a lot because of the treble hook, they do sink. Not because of the treble hook, but the treble hook gets hung up on things really easily, and that's its job. It's designed to hook and stay hooked. And because they sink, if there's underwater structure you can't see, you're gonna lose them. So don't waste your money, buy the cheapos, and just be happy with that. Now I'm gonna have a seat here. I'm gonna show you guys how I tie a knot. Now, there's a lot of debate on which fishing knots are best. Growing up, there was never a debate for me. I learned the basic fisherman's knot, or they call it clinch knot, or even the improved clinch knot. So let's pick one. I like the ones with a little bit of red on them. Red just simulates like a wounded bait fish, and bass love wounded bait fish. But also, so does every other predator out there. If they see blood, they come running. Here we go. Well, it's obviously very effective. I can't even get out of the bag. Here we go. Now, a lot of people will argue that you should use a swivel in front of this because it does have the potential to twist your line up while it's going through the water. And twisted line can weaken the line. Actually, not can, it does weaken your line. So I generally don't do that though, because I think swivels just add one more thing to get caught up in the water. It breaks the connection between the bait or the lure and you. So I like feeling every little bite. And in my opinion, as much as these things get lost, I'm not gonna waste my time putting a swivel on a line. Now, I'm probably gonna hear a lot of opinions telling me I'm wrong, but I don't really care. Fishing does not have rules. Well, except for the government, they have rules on fishing. But for me and you, there's no rules. Put whatever you want to on there and go catch fish. So a clinch knot, let me start over. I'm not really explaining this very well. So a clinch knot, or an approved clinch knot, or what they call a fisherman's knot, is very, very simple. In my opinion, it's one of these simpler knots. Now, some will say there are others out there that are just as simple or twice as strong. And that may be the case. And I'll be adding some videos later on about knot tying and different options and why you might pick certain knots over others. But for this case, the clinch knot, you run the line through the eyelet there, and it's so simple. You just turn it, and for like a 6-pound test, I give it 7, 8, maybe 10 turns. You want to give it some friction. It's a friction knot. It's designed to bind upon itself, and the more friction you can generate within the line, the better it's going to hold. And that's a little too sciencey for some. Some of y'all are like, I just want to catch fish. But, I like science, so get over it. So you twist, and you can see there, it's got a few twists in the line. Then you run the tag end, if you can see that. I'm having a hard time filming this. You see this tag end here, you run back through the loop you first created. Well, I'm not getting the camera on it. You run the loop, on the tag through the loop you first created, and so that's actually your knot. Now the thing is, you want to moisten it. Now saliva usually is just what you have on hand, but if your line's already wet, it's fine. So now that it's moistened, I'll pull it. I'll also pull the tag in a little bit just to make sure it's clean, there's no binding, and then you just pull it too. And you can see right there that it looks like a little noose, and that's exactly how it was designed. It's designed to clinch on that lure and not come off, and the harder you pull, the tighter it gets, as long as it's tied correctly. So then you would cut off your tag end, just like so, and you are ready to catch fish right now. So, like I said, I love using these little spinners. I first started using these trout fishing up here in the mountains in NC, and I've caught so many different kinds of species of fish on little lures like this. And I just like to prove that you don't have to have an $8 crankbait or a bag full of plastics to go out and catch fish. It's personal preference. Yeah, I don't like wasting lures, I don't like wasting money, but these are really inexpensive and they're really effective. And the next part of the video will be me showing you how effective these are, hopefully. But if they don't catch fish, then I will tie up something else and we'll hopefully get some fish on video for you guys. So stay tuned, and next time you see me, we'll be at some water. All right, guys, here we are. It's one of my favorite local spots. It's a nice little lake with a little waterfall. You can fish both sides. Honestly, I've caught just as many fish on both sides. It's pretty neat. I took a friend out here recently and he caught a massive fish in a tiny little pool below the waterfall. So let's see if we can take this out here today and put it to good use. First, let's see how easy it is to get undone. So I figured out this little thing right here is actually like a hook saver. I don't know why I didn't notice that at the beginning. So let's pull it out. I'm just gonna open my bail up like that and just set her up. The only negative reviews I ever saw on these telescopic rods were people complaining that it took longer to set up than a 2-piece. But I'll be honest with you, it's so small of a difference, it's not noticeable. It's like 3 seconds. So people complaining about that, you're just lazy. Fish on, fish on. There we go. Like I said, you never know what'll hit one of these things. Got a nice little, oh, stay still, buddy. I don't want to hurt you. Look at him, he's pissed. He's pretty. He's a pretty little one. Got him right underneath the mouth. He must have been chasing it. He didn't really bite it, but he got some pretty colors. Here you go, buddy. I'll let you go back home. Did he swim right off? fresh. I need something big to hit it so I can stretch that line out. I will say it's also a helpful tip. You can, in order to avoid all the complications you can get with fresh line, because it has line memory, you can actually tie it to something and back up with your drag and then reel it back up and stretch your line out. And I found that to be really helpful sometimes. I'm setting up, you know, things I'm going to be casting a lot, or if I'm fishing with light stuff, it'll really help out, keep you from getting loops in your spool. I'm so impatient, I have to let it sink. Especially fishing from up this distance, it's kind of hard to keep a bait down low in the water because I am so far above it. So anytime I reel, it's going to be lifting up in the water. So I'm kind of giving it a little motion here and there so it flashes and let it sink back down. Ooh, I just had a little blow up there. Something tried to hit it. I hope I caught that on camera. So that's a good sign. Probably another tiny little brim, but I'll take it. And I do a catch and release most of the time, unless I'm fishing for fish that I really enjoy eating. Mainly, you know, catfish or trout. If you see those videos, I will be keeping some of those fish. So if you're super anti-killing animals, then this is the wrong channel for you. Had a little bump right there. So they're liking it. I just got to get it down deeper. I may have to go down there where Corian's fishing and see if I can just reel to myself here. Let's see. It's really hard to keep this bait low in the water. So let's go up here and see if I can get some of the same reaction bites on some of these fish we saw near this structure. Now, I do risk losing this lure casting near all that, because if you see on top of the water, it's like an iceberg. There's 10 times as much below the water usually. Got a little ducky duck over here giving us a show. Actually, it's 2 ducks. They're giving us a little more than a show here, guys. For all the kids watching, this is nature in action. I'm sure you've seen Lion King. This is part of the circle of life. Oh, there you go. Ooh, wash it off. Ooh. Don't know if I'll add that to the video or not. That was pretty good. Corian, you missed it. Those 2 ducks were humping. Ducks are going crazy. I'm gonna try this spinner a few more times in this pool, and then we're gonna change over on some baits. Oh, fish on. Oh, we hit it as soon as it hit the water. We got a decent fish here, guys, I think. Oh yeah, we got a decent fish. We got a decent fish here, guys. We got a little bass. All right, here we go. This is what we're after, right, guys? Everybody wants to catch a bass, no matter what the size. But look at this new line. God, it's getting all bundled up on me. I'm definitely gonna strip some line off here just to make it easier. So, I mean, yeah, you can call him a dink, you can call him whatever you want, but I'll call him beautiful. Right on the top of the mouth, just the way you want it. That means he hit it the way he was supposed to. Easy there, big fella. Easy. All right, now I know it's not the most graceful release, but I like to put them back where they came from. There he goes, he swam right off, he's fine. He's fine. I would say get the wind knocked out of him, but that wouldn't make any sense, would it? Okay, just got back to the house. It started to rain on us a little bit, so I'm kind of glad we quit when we did. But we were able to catch a couple fish, a brim, a little bass on this little rod. Like I said, I was really impressed with it. I like fishing with it a lot. May not be as sensitive as some other one piece or two piece rods, but as far as the convenience factor, I think it kind of outweighs it in use. And as I said before, please like, subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and comment. Please comment, let me know what you want to see, any questions, any videos you'd like to see me make. I like doing how-to videos. I like to teach others how to catch fish for themselves. So if this was fun for you to watch, it was fun for me to make, and I hope to see you next time. And in the meantime, go catch some fish.